Hey, welcome to another video. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your day to be here. So in this video, it's tangentially related to the video I published recently, but this is digging into a chapter of this book called The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. And this is one of the probably five most formative books for me ever. And as I was paging through this book, trying to figure out what chapter I wanted to talk about specifically for this video, I found a quote by Jim Rohn, who is another one of my favorite people out there in terms of mindset and development and general go-gettedness. And so I decided this is the chapter. And then I read it and actually created this video from it. But this is principle number 25 out of 64. So again, each one of these chapters is 3 or 4 pages long, maybe, and they're awesome. So I highly, highly, highly recommend you pick this book up and read it and highlight the mess out of it like I have. But this chapter is called Drop Out of the Ain't It Awful Club and Surround Yourself with Successful People. So Jim Rohn, I've heard him speak a number of times through podcasts and whatnot, but he's oftentimes quoted with saying, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And one of the people that Canfield talks about really embodying that he uses as an example here is Tim Ferriss. If you don't know who Tim Ferriss is, Google the 4 Hour Work Week. He's one of those guys who he automates things. He built a huge, awesome mega business, and he's got this leadership thing kind of figured out. So Tim, if you just happen to watch this, give me a call. That'd be super cool to me. Like that would just make my week. But I'm going to read a couple sentences from this and then just kind of verbally talk through it. But Canfield says, when Tim Ferriss was 12 years old, an unidentified caller left the above Jim Rohn quote on his answering machine. So that's you're the average of the 5 people you spend time with. It changed Tim's life forever. For days, he couldn't get the idea out of his mind. At only 12 years of age, wish I was this wise as a 12-year-old, Tim recognized that the kids he was hanging out with were not the ones he wanted influencing his future. Wow, that's like every parent's terror or dream right there. If you're a parent, you see the other kids that your kid is hanging out with, and you either approve or disapprove, because we have this innate knowledge as parents that your child will be influenced by the people he spends time with. Well, where's the break in our logic that says we are influenced by the people that we spend time with? So after this, Tim went home and he asked his mom and dad to send him to a private school. And then he ended up in Japan and then ended up at 4 years of Princeton University, and then started his own company at age 23. And now he travels the world and essentially works remotely from wherever he wants to work from. So that's not bad. I'd say Tim Ferriss probably did a pretty good job really embodying this. And I doubt he surrounded himself with people that he did not want to be around. So here, if you want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people. Well, the question begs, where do you find these successful people? Well, maybe a professional organization. There's a number of networking groups out there. There's book study groups out there. There's people who just get together and hang out. I'm not going to say any names. I don't know if I'm allowed to on this. I'm still navigating some of the laws of that. But attend conferences, or shoot, you can get on social media sites and do live webinars or seminars. Or if you're an entrepreneur and you want to start your own business, find young entrepreneur organizations. Your town or city probably has a chamber of commerce. That's a great start. That's how I grow my business. I talk to the chamber, I network there, get to know people, surround myself with people who I can't necessarily sell my products or services to, but they can influence me and my state of mind. And the more of those people I hang out with, the better off that I am. So there's another quote in here that Canfield quotes by Mike Murdoch. He's the author of The Leadership Secrets of Jesus. But he says, pay any price to stay in the presence of extraordinary people. I feel pretty good. I did this last week. I spent a whopping $100 to go to a seminar for 8 hours just to get to listen to successful people in my field, my industry, talk about what they do daily, some of the core behaviors every day that make them successful. So much of it is like, yes, duh, okay, great. You get up every morning and you write out your goals for the day. But being around in such close proximity to those people was awesome. Shaking hands with one of my YouTube heroes, super nerd thing. And I'm 34 and talking about idolizing someone on YouTube, but whatever. I thought it was really cool to be able to do that. So I paid $100. I probably would have paid $500 for that same 8-hour experience to get to do that. And yeah, so moving on, and look, it's normal to have challenges in life. It's normal to, in the restaurant industry specifically, because restaurant leaders, I'm talking to you on this channel. So it's important to have challenges. It's that people are going to call out, people are going to be sick, people are going to steal food, people are going to lose money, people are going to lose their temper with a customer, people are going to not wear the right shoes, people are going to wear wrinkly uniform, people are going to take too much sauce on the break. Like, people are people, they're going to do any number of things. But you're also going to be presented with challenges like 11:59, you're gearing up for lunch and the power goes out. What do you do? Or the freezer quits working, or this vendor doesn't show up, or you don't have towels, or your mop heads stink. So it's normal to have these challenges. That's why you're in a leadership role. That's why you're in a manager role. Remember, we lead people, we manage things, but you have the stewardship over this assigned area. And whenever some sort of junk happens, it's your responsibility to respond appropriately. Well, how do you respond to those things? And a lot of those responses are dictated by the people we spend time with. So Canfield, he calls it the "Isn't It Awful" club. So that's the group of people, again, restaurant environment, that can happen at the break room, the dining room, the drive-through cockpit. There's 30 seconds or so between drive-through customers where people just complain. So those sentences start with, well, can you believe that this happened? Or did you hear about this? Or guess what this person said to me today? And none of those things are productive things to say. None of those things are productive conversations to engage in. Instead, what happens rather than production is gossip, complaining, all the woe is me sort of stuff. And you know what? Working in a restaurant industry can suck. Working outside of a restaurant also can suck. It's going to be hard. It's work. You're dealing with people and things and stuff breaks all the time, and so do things, and so do people. But what kind of mindset do you have with that? Are you surrounding yourself with champions of their own mindset? So yes, the power went out at 12:58 or 11:58 or any time. Well, you know what you got to do? You got to crisis management. You got to do something fun and exciting. You got to figure out how to calculate sales tax on a calculator from 1995. You got to explain to every customer what was going on. You got to lead your team through a situation that they had not been trained for ever. That's kind of cool to be able to do that. I remember one time in my restaurant, the vent hoods quit working. So I forget what it was exactly. Maybe the belt on the roof snapped. Something happened. But we had a drive-through line wrapped around the building. It was 6:04 in the morning. We had just opened. Drive-through line was around the building. I was evacuating the kitchen. My kitchen leader was evacuating the kitchen with me because the fire alarm was going off. Fire trucks were en route because the alarm had triggered the call. The security system company was calling, trying to figure out what was going on, if it was a false alarm or an actual real thing. Meanwhile, customers are sitting in the drive-through line, still placing orders. Like, literally, they're sitting in their cars. They can look 10 feet to their left and see 15 of my team members standing outside with smoke pouring out of the back door of the restaurant. They're saying, "Hey, can I get a number one with the sweet tea?" It's like, really? Why would this even happen? So at that point, I got to choose, well, do I wallow and complain and just make it out to be the worst thing ever? Or do I get to have some fun with it, go into crisis management mode and do something I'd never had the opportunity to do before? Where it's turned into, hey, you, make sure the doors are locked, make sure nobody gets in. We're going to make sure that we follow this punch list we have of all the people who are clocked in. We're going to get them to, we had evacuation points, which is awesome to have. And you go interact with every customer in the drive-through line and tell them the building is on fire. We're not serving their chicken this morning. And the people, they all said, okay. Not a single person said, no, I think that's a dumb idea. All of the team members I interacted with said, okay, I'll do it. And they got it done because they wanted to be led. So yes, it was a rough situation. Yes, we lost some sales. Yes, people were in danger. I need to inverse the priorities of those. But it was something different, and I got to lead my team through something cool, and we all grew out of that experience. So that's positivity right there. That's the positive outlook. One more time, the negative outlook is, well, we lost sales and it was an inconvenience, and now my shirt stinks. And can you believe people just couldn't, they didn't get that the building was on fire? Like that's negative stuff. That's gossip. Forget that. Positive mindset. What did you get to do? What challenge did you get to face? What challenge did you get to overcome? Those are the conversations you should be having with your peers and coworkers. And if they are incapable of those conversations, don't have conversations with them unless you absolutely have to. Easy as that. So next thing that just, I think I've nailed that thing home several times, but avoid your toxic people. Surround yourself with successful people. So I'm in a couple of networking groups around town, and I shook hands with some guys, one last week and one was earlier this week. And one guy was a state representative. I said, hey, my name's Chris. And he said, hey, my name's his name. And I said, great, what do you do? He goes, well, I'm running for re-election. I'm a state representative. Okay, cool. Who am I talking to this guy? And the next guy I spoke to, he's running for mayor of the town I live in. That's super cool too. Like I never would have engaged or interacted with these people had I not been in this networking group that was for people with positive mindsets who want to go places and who want to sharpen themselves because of the people they surround themselves with. So in today's day and age, if you can't get out and go sharpen yourself, if you can't go shake hands and you can't go networking with people, let's say you have a child at home, you're a single parent, let's say you work 2 jobs or you're working 87 hours a week, or your car doesn't work, or you don't know where these are, or they're at an inconvenient time. Who cares? Today's day and age, bring up any social media thing, follow the people that you like who will influence you in a good way. Follow the people who are going to challenge you with new ideas. Follow the people who are solving problems that have not manifested themselves yet. Follow the visionaries that are out there. You can connect with people. What's that expression? You're no more than 4 connections away from the president of the United States. Chances are you know someone who knows someone who knows someone. So again, get on social media. All of you are on it, and figure out, who do you want to talk to? Who do you need to talk to? What type of group do you want to be in? And join that group. Make sure it's a group that doesn't gossip. Make sure it's a group with a positive attitude, but network your way into talking to someone that you want to. Surround yourself with people who are going to grow you. Utilize social media to do that. Or be like the 98% of the population who utilizes social media just to kill time or loosely follow up with people. I remember when one social media platform came out, it was all about, oh, here's a picture of my food. I'm eating this today. Let me snap a picture of it. I love lobster. I love this cheeseburger. That's meaningless. Who cares what you had for lunch? But you can leverage social media to engage and interact and sharpen your saw with other people in those positive interactions. So I feel like that was more of a rant, but maybe it's a wake up call. Maybe I can't make a good alarm clock noise, or maybe I would, but restaurant leaders out there, please know you have an important job. Part of that job is to lead people. Part of that job is to lead and develop yourself. So I give you a few ways that I like to do it, a couple easy ways to do it in today's world. I hope you choose 1 or 2. Any comments, please leave a comment. That would just make my day. I'll even heart it, unless you tell me I'm ugly or something like that. Probably not going to do that. But thank you for watching this video of me ramble ranting, and pick up this book by Jack Canfield. It's well worth it. This is one of those I picked up at a Goodwill or something. Probably spent $4 on it, but the amount of time I've put into it has been way worth it. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.